Hi, I'm Gabriel, and this is Learning English Path. And in this lesson, I'm going to teach you the English vocabulary for some tastes and how to describe people using words to describe taste. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you words to describe how food and drink tastes. And I'm going to also teach you how you can use these same adjectives to describe people. You can use them to describe people's personalities, characters, even appearance. All right, and here is a little picture that shows you one example. So the birds are eating this dead clown in the desert, right? And they're saying it tastes funny. Now, if we're talking about food and we say something tastes funny, we usually mean something's not right about the food. Maybe it wasn't cooked properly. Or maybe they put too much salt in, or not enough, or it was cooked too much, right? But in this sense, it has a double meaning because they're eating a clown, and clowns are supposed to be funny. So that's the joke, right? Now, you can use the word funny to describe food, and you can also use the word funny to describe people. And they've got different meanings. So this is just the first little example before we move on to the main tastes. Now, what do we say when we want to eat something? I thought I'd just share this with you as well. All right, you can say, I'm hungry, which most people know. If you're really hungry, you can say, I'm starving. Okay, I'm starving. If you are extremely hungry, even more than starving, you will say, I'm famished. I'm famished. Now, starving and famished are actually very extreme words, and they actually mean something very bad to people who actually don't have enough food, but they are commonly used just as an expression in English to describe that you are really hungry. And the last one there is, I've got the munchies, and that is if you're just a little hungry, you just want a snack, okay? You don't want a whole meal. You just want a snack. That's, I've got the munchies. All right, the first kind of taste is the kind of taste that we taste when we eat things with sugar, right? Sugar, chocolate, candy, cake, apples, a lot of fruit taste this way, and that is sweet, right? It tastes sweet. Now, how do we use sweet to describe people? We can use this word to describe a person who is kind, pleasant, or cute. So, for example, if a man here gives a gift to a woman, she might say, thank you, that's so sweet, right? Or you can say about a cute little child, how sweet. And the next taste is salty, right? So you've got salt right in the middle there. What are some salty foods? We've got spaghetti, chips, fish, crisps. Lots of different foods are salty, right? Salty. So how do we describe people using this word? or when would we use salty to describe people? It's used to describe a person who is often upset, unpleasant, or angry. So look at this picture here. He's a salty character. Try to stay away from him. All right, this is what salty means if you're talking about people. The next one is the taste that you get when you taste lemons, vinegar, or yogurt. And this is sour. And if sour usually means something kind of negative. We would usually say something tastes too sour. But if you wanted to turn it into something positive, you might say tart. So if a dessert tastes a little sour, like a lemon meringue pie, but you don't want to say it's bad, you want to say it's actually good, you might say it's tart. And how do we use the word sour to describe people? It's used to describe a person who is jealous. And a popular expression is actually sour grapes. If someone is jealous, we can say you have sour grapes. And here we can see an image of someone. Are you sour just because you lost the game? That's maybe a sentence you can use with sour. But you can also use this idiom, sour grapes, to talk about people who have some jealousy over something. And the next one, bitter. Okay, so coffee, beer, these are watermelon seeds as well, but it can be any kind of seed with that really, that taste that is so rich, right? That it's kind of surprising the way it tastes. So how would we describe people using this word bitter? It's used to describe a person who is emotionally hurt and resentful and expresses their hurt by hurting others verbally or emotionally. All right, so this man here is bitter. Don't be bitter over an old relationship, right? It's not the same as sour. Sour is used to describe jealousy about one thing, but bitter, it's more powerful, actually. It's when your jealousy turns into real hurt and resent, and you want to really hurt others by doing similar things to them, emotionally hurting them or verbally hurting them, just to feel better about yourself, perhaps. So this is bitter. All right, the next one is one that isn't talked about very often. And this is actually a very common kind of taste. And it's common in soy sauce, tomatoes, and lots of MSG food. And this is called umami. And this is the kind of taste that where we respond to glutamates, okay? And this is the kind of taste that we have. And it's difficult to describe, but it's found, like I said, in a lot of MSG foods, right? Foods that are not organic, that have a lot of chemicals in them. And another way people just talk about these kinds of foods is savory. So savory is often used to distinguish just any food that is not sweet. You might say, do you prefer sweet foods or savory foods? And this means, do you prefer to eat desserts or with things with sugar in them? Or do you prefer to eat meals, basically is what it means, okay? Now, unfortunately, there's no word with umami to describe people. We can't say he's very umami about anything, all right? Savory, though, Actually, you can use the word savory to describe someone who is refreshingly honest, I would say. Okay? And this one, okay, this is not technically a taste, but often people will say that this is one of the tastes, and it is spicy. So it's the kind of feeling you get in your mouth when you eat something like a chili pepper, right? Or wasabi, or a curry, or a hot pot, right? This is a Chinese hot pot with a lot of spices in it. And we don't have any adjectives to describe people. We don't use the word spicy to describe people at all, but we can substitute the word spicy for hot, and we can describe people with hot. So you can say that a person is hot if they are physically attractive, right? She's hot, he's hot. Delicious. This is used to describe foods that you love, right? And also, delicious, you can say a person is delicious if they are, again, very physically attractive, and so attractive that you just want to eat them up, right? You want to eat them. They're delicious. Disgusting. This is used to describe foods that you hate. All right, the opposite of delicious is disgusting. Now, you can also describe people with this word disgusting, but it's not very nice. It just means a very unpleasant person, and that can be physically, or it can also be about their character if they do things that you think are disgusting. Rancid. This is used to describe foods that are no longer fresh enough to eat, right? We say that a food has expired. So if a carton of milk has expired, it has gone off, and you smell it, then it will smell rancid. We don't usually describe people using this word though. And plain. So you will say that a food is plain if it just doesn't have much taste. And you can describe a person as very plain if they are average. And the last phrase that I'll teach you is about plain, really. If something tastes kind of plain, or it tastes like it just has a familiar taste. If you taste something for the first time and you don't know how to describe the taste, but yeah, it's kind of plain, you will say it tastes like chicken. And I guess chicken is a kind of taste that has a lot of things taste like chicken, okay? So if you've ever seen the movie The Matrix, there's a line in that that talks about why everything tastes like chicken in The Matrix, which is funny. But this is a common expression. It tastes... So if you don't know how to describe how something tastes, you can always say it tastes like chicken. So I hope you enjoyed that. And if you want to learn English with songs, then make sure you get my free PDF guide on 101 songs to learn English. That is in the description below. I will send it to your email address. You just have to enter it in there. And please do subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because this year in 2019, I am making 150 video lessons. Some of them will have me talking to the camera, and some of them will be more like this, okay? More presentation style. So leave a comment. Let me know if you like this. And keep learning, my friend, and keep going.